Hello, everyone. Today on the Doctor Who Guide, we are going to be giving a spoilery review of Doctor Who The Giggle. We will be getting into all of the spoilers of this episode. So if you haven't seen it yet, and I highly recommend that you do watch it, please pause this video and then go and watch the episode. Once you have seen it, you can come back and watch this review. We're going to get into all the spoilers, and there are some very large ones. So brace yourself. We're gonna get into all of it. So, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much fun. This episode was so incredible. It was really, I thought it looked like it had a movie level budget. It was really well done. Yeah, it was really fun to watch. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the biggest spoiler of all. Let's talk about that one first. The By generation, the double regeneration, the twist on what we all were expecting, which was at some point, I was thinking at the very end of the episode, the 14th Doctor would win the episode and defeat the Toymaker by sacrificing himself, and at the very end we'd get a minute or two maybe of post regeneration 15th Doctor shooting Gatwa, and that would be very much what I was expecting based off of past episodes. Well, Russell was like, forget that. I'm doing something completely new and different and never before done, which is to really have the current Doctor and the next Doctor be able to defeat the villain together and have time to talk with each other and set each other up in the new TARDIS and introductions all around and then farewells, and it was so refreshing. It was so much fun. It was so funny. It was unexpected. It was the two Doctors, but with new Doctor Who Doctors. It was really so much fun. And Ncuti is incredible, and it was so cool to have them both there on the screen at the same time, and they had these lovely montages throughout the episode. And we got to see one with the Doctors playing catch with the Toymaker, and it was very funny. It still had that very playful atmosphere of the original story, where a large part of the plot was them playing games. So I love that they incorporated that as well. Just perhaps not quite so, dare I say, tediously. Yeah, there was a faster pace to the games this time around, which I appreciated. But this was just really cool, and they brought back the Celestial Toymaker. I wish they coordinated the release of the animation so that it could have come out maybe when the Underwater Menace came out, so that people could have watched it and got caught up and had a real proper appreciation of it. I did show my family the fourth episode from the Lost in Time collection, the One Surviving episode of the original four-parter from 57 years ago, called The Celestial Toymaker. I hope that people will get that animation and will now go back and watch the original, because it was cool. They had little flashbacks to Michael Gow as a Celestial Toymaker and to William Hartnell as the First Doctor. This episode was chock full of references, so many references. You could definitely make a video breaking down all the references. When the 14th and 15th Doctors are talking about, things like Mavic Chen from the Daleks' Master Plan, mentioning, all of these past companions and Sarah Jane and Adric. There were references were just sprinkled out here around the episode, like flowers from a gun. Like that was just that was the references were sprinkled in there quite freely. And but the thing was, they took classic elements and worked them into the plot. Not only is this a returning villain, but in a classic reference, but we also have Mel back. Mel was amazing. Oh my gosh, Melanie Bush back working for UNIT. We got to see Kate Stewart again, which was amazing. And we have this kind of new UNIT family. And it's just really, it was so fun to see that, and to see Donna being offered a job now at UNIT. Oh my gosh, it was, and Shirley as well being back. I really feel like they're setting us up for some sort of spin-off with the 14th Doctor and UNIT. maybe that's it. Maybe that's them. Or maybe it's just a unit spinoff. But at this point, it seems like, Gemma Redgrave's character of Kate Stewart is just, going like finding out about those Doctor Who Companions Anonymous meetings and just like handing out pamphlets to be like, I'll pay you whatever you want, come work for unit. Because they are overqualified for the job of dealing with aliens. So it was lovely to see Melanie Bush back, and I thought that Bonnie Langford did a really good job, really wonderful acting, and just it was so lovely to see her character back and get appreciated like that. It was lovely. It felt very much in the same vein of Sophie Alger's return as Ace, and Tegan Jovanka's return, and Janet Fielding being back. That really, it was so lovely, and I was so glad that they continue that tradition. And like with Wilfred Mott and Bernard Cribbins, bringing him back was incredible. By the way, Wild Blue Yonder, love that. Incredible episode. The ending, so we're also going to get, I guess, into spoilers for that. But there was Bernard Cribbins was in that, and was also had a wonderful, wonderful appearance there. At the beginning of this episode, we saw couple of like a side angle of him, and they, very quickly kind of rushed him off out of the episode, because obviously that's what they were able to film. And sadly, he's now passed on. So it was so lovely to see his appearance as well. I really think that you have to watch these three episodes together to really appreciate that, and to get the references about the salt as well, and why the Celestial Toymaker is now back in this universe. I love that reasoning. I thought that was really quite clever. And it was just amazing. Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor, as the 15th Doctor. We get to see him earlier than expected, and working with the 14th Doctor. I loved how he comforted the 14th Doctor. That image is just so rich and deep and emotionally tugs at the heart, at both hearts. And it was just to have the next Doctor holding in their arms the currently dying Doctor. I think I could see a series of beautiful portraits, just like that, and how heart-wrenching it would be. And this sort of appreciation of like, you're dying so that I can be here next. And you're not dying. You are a part of me. Shooting Gatwa was amazing. His portrayal was just so fun, so confident. It has that energy. It has that sparkle, that twinkle in the eye that you look for in a doctor. And he's gonna be amazing. I have this feeling, and I think that from I had it before I'd even seen him on screen, and now I have seen him on screen. I'm even more confident that he's going to be an incredible doctor, and definitely, I think, one of the greats. So that was really fun to see his character. It was really, it was fun. The episode at the beginning started off as more of a horror, and just, a creepy with the dolls. Oh my goodness. And that's not so much my vibe with Doctor Who, but I was here for it. I kind of gotten that vibe from the trailers. But I love that it then had this shift to action, and then fun and funniness, and the Doctor makes his typical um offer, which is to the villains of the episodes, which is, come with me. We can, like, let's have an actual, relation. It's not too late for peace. Let's really, he really tries to do that. And as often happens, it's just out of reach, grasping for it. Ah, just out of reach. And so, of course, the villain chooses to go the way that results in their ultimate destruction. And I thought it was quite a fun uh, tie up. When you look at a lot of Doctor Who episodes, and you have to, rush at the end. I mean, many episodes would have not done as well to take on this much. And I think kudos to Russell T Davies, and to, everybody who created this episode, that it did not feel rushed. It did not feel like too many things were packed into it, at least not in my opinion. And I love the pacing. It was not the type of pacing I was expecting. And that was lovely. It was almost like there were kind of thirds to the episode, and we had this kind of early climax. I was like, David Tennant can't be regenerating right now. It's too early on in the episode. And it turns out it wasn't. It was amazing. Excuse me. Got 11 unedited video. But I mean, the ending with David Tennant and the whole family and him choosing to have a, try out for a little bit. They clearly hinted that he had already had a couple trips in the TARDIS with his niece, and that he hadn't been able to resist. You mean the TARDIS is right there. He's the Doctor. Of course, he's gonna, go traveling about. But apparently, he seems to do a good job of getting back to home, which was such a beautiful concept. I love that. To go from where we left off with a heartbreaking ending of the Donna Noble series 4 and the specials plot line, to somehow be able to work through that in a way that didn't feel what's the word I'm looking, it didn't feel like it honored that. It didn't feel disrespectful of the plot. The way that they unwrote that and brought everybody back, and the moles was hilarious. That line about I gave the moles force fields. I love the moles. Oh, oh, that's amazing. Oh my goodness. So I mean, that was lovely, and I so want a spin-off. I so want a spin-off. I feel like that needs to happen. Probably as I'm recording this video, there's been some news or announcement that there's a spin-off with the 14th Doctor and David Tennant and Catherine Tate and everybody there. Or maybe it's stories that happen on Earth and, for some reason they don't need the TARDIS and it's like their own spin-off. I mean, if the BBC don't do it, Big Finish will do it in a heartbeat, 5 years down the line when they get the rights to them. So yeah, that was really, really fun. It was great to see uh, Kate Lethbridge Stewart back. She was just great as always, and feels so lovely to have a Stewart still there, still helping the Doctor all these years later. It feels like it honors the Brigadier's character and Nicholas Courtney, of course. So I love that, and her character just was awesome, and they really, I mean, they took on the Toymaker. I can't believe that they brought back that character. I thought that the portrayal by Neil Patrick Harris was great. It was what I expected of Neil Patrick Harris to, really bring a lot of energy of comedy, a bit of an edge of silliness to the role, but then to have these moments where he could be like really, serious and villainous as well. And I think that's what you're looking for in a lot of Doctor Who is to be able to balance the fantastical and the ridiculous with the seriousness and the real emotion. And I think that's what you get in a lot of the Doctors that we see throughout the series and the stories that make it great. I think Doctor Who is never without its seesaw of its combination of um, comedy and humor and ridiculousness with seriousness and emotion and really deep thoughts and moments, and that's what the episode was talking about, this idea that it doesn't take much to turn humanity against itself, and to make the world go crazy. And so they had that lovely melodic line, and it gave Donna a real thing to contribute to the episode, which was nice as well. And it was great to see how she reacted to Mel and how they got on well, and then with Shirley back as well. And yeah, they did. I thought they did a lovely job. And the TARDIS now wheelchair accessible. I thought for sure that at some point in these specials we would see somebody, with the TARDIS on the inside too. All those ramps are clearly handicap accessible. So I'm certain that at some point, I thought maybe Wilfred would end up inside or Shirley would end up inside the TARDIS at some point. That very well may happen. Or it could be a completely new character. But it's cool that they've done that and that they've upgraded the TARDIS that way. And so that was cool, and it was a nice point. I thought that you know accessibility looks doesn't all look the same or look one way, and so to showcase a character that does have some mobility of their legs, and that you don't have to have none of that to need a wheelchair. And so I thought that was a good point that they made. But of course, it's not up to me to decide how well that was represented. So I'd love to know your thoughts, if you uh, are part of that community and, are a wheelchair user, how you felt that the episode was handled. And so yeah, that was cool as well. I thought it was nice that they updated the TARDIS that way, and now it really is, because it is supposed. That's the whole idea of the TARDIS and Doctor Who, is that we all see ourselves as either doctors or companions. In lieu of being doctors ourselves, we all would jump at the chance to go on the TARDIS, and now everybody really can, and so that's really cool. Um, yeah, the episode was so much fun. It was so unexpected in many different ways, and they got through quite a bit of the trailer, even just in the beginning. So I was glad that they didn't spoil too much. And I tried not to watch everything that they put out about this episode because I really wanted to be genuinely surprised by everything. And so yeah, it was really, really, I enjoyed it quite a lot. It was quite fun, and a very Doctor Who thing in with all those corridors, to have them running down the same sort of sets of corridors and stuff. And this time an intentional choice, not necessarily due to budget. But it did remind me of the Invasion of Time, where they're inside the TARDIS and they're like, "We're just going through the same three rooms again, again and again." It's like, "Yep, yep, you are." So yeah, it was really enjoyable, and I'm so excited for the 15th Doctor. I've seen the trailer now, what's coming up next, and it looks like it's going to be a really fun and fantastical uh, Doctor Who episode, and I'm really excited for it. I'm so glad that we don't have to wait a whole year to see a new episode. We have just a couple weeks until the Christmas special comes out, so I'm very, very excited. Comment down below with which of these three specials were your favorite, what you thought of the episode as well. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, keep growing your knowledge collection and connection with other Doctor Who fans. Albert the Adipose says hello, and we both hope to see you in the next video. Bye!